Well, good morning. Today is Friday, February 5th. It's very cold. It's like 10 degrees or something like that. We're supposed to get more snow this weekend. Winter in Michigan, it's to be expected. That's my curtains there. See, that's my curtains. See how nice it is out there? It's not nice, it's cold. But anyway, I was watching my videos this morning, and I am going to talk to Gina Pearson. So Gina, pay attention. She's getting very discouraged about her Weight Watchers program, and I can so relate to her. I can relate to everybody out there that's talking to me. This is a struggle. Well, we have to set realistic goals, because if we look at how much we have to lose, it's just not going to work. It's just not. At least for me, I still have 100 pounds that I have to, well, not 100 pounds, probably about 80 pounds that I have to lose. But I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it. I don't know when I'm going to do it. That I don't know. But I don't have a doubt I'm going to do it. And if it takes me a while, it takes me a while. But I can't go back to the way I was before. I wasn't happy. I was... I like to fool myself into thinking I've always been a happy person, but I never liked being overweight. And nobody does. Nobody likes being overweight. So what you want to do is, and I know I set up a date that I wanted to get to my 75-pound goal by Easter. That's not going to work. You shouldn't set a date, because I tell you in the one breath, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to get there when I get there. And then in the next breath, I say I'm going to pick a certain date, and this is the date I want to hit my goal by. It's not that you're not supposed to make goals. Everything in life you can make a goal for. Like you want to lose weight, you're going to pay off a credit card. There's just different things. But you just have to know, you have to bend with the goals. And you just have to know that. And don't compare yourself to anyone else. I can look at so many people out there that have already reached their 100-pound goal, or they're staying on their program and they're tracking and they're losing like 2 and 3 pounds a week, and they're doing really, really well. That's not who I am. That's not how my body is. My body's going to go the way my body wants to go. Your body's going to go your way. My body's going to go my way. We all have that one skinny friend that can sit down and eat the whole buffet table and not gain a pound. That's not me. My body will not ever be in that state of a frame of a mind that is going to say, okay, Sandy, we can eat whatever we want and we're never going to gain weight. No, I know that. And the older you get, the slower your metabolism goes, but you have to figure out ways to trick it. And you just have to set small goals and have a sensible eating pattern. I have to get out of the habit of not eating just but 2 meals a day. I have to start eating more, because the only way I'm going to rev up my metabolism is if I have tricked my brain into thinking, oh, you got something to work with. But that doesn't mean I'm going to pick a bag of chips. I have to pick something that's a little bit more realistic. This is my old way of eating, and I have to change my old way of eating, because my old way of eating caused me to gain weight. I didn't eat healthy, so I don't mean it like that. I just mean that just eating the 2 meals, my body needs more than 2 meals. Granted, the older you get, the less food you really do require, but that doesn't mean that you don't cut it out completely. The second thing what you need to do is you need to go slow. You can't make a lifestyle change overnight. It's going to take a while. They always say that a habit takes 2 weeks. I think a habit takes 2 months. I, for the longest time, never flossed at night. I never did. And so then I tried to get into the habit of it, and I would slack off. Not that that compares to weight loss, but it's my comparison. But I floss every night now. I just do. It took me a couple months to get into that habit. I mean, I was a little more diligent about doing it, but I would skip nights that I'm just going to brush my teeth. I just don't want to take the time. And look at these teeth. It should be no problem. There's so much space, the floss is not going to get stuck. But, and if you're starving yourself, oh, gotta answer the phone. They always call, always. No, I don't want any of what you're selling. I can't stand when they call like that. I put a thing to block it, but you know, I think you got to keep renewing that. But anyway, what I was saying is if you're starving, you're going to be so much more irritable, and no one's going to want to be around you. And if you're always saying, oh, I can't eat that, I can't eat that, no, I can't have that, it's not on my diet, people aren't going to invite you out because they're not going to want to hear it. Or they can say, oh, do you know how many calories are in that brownie that you're eating? No, nobody wants to hear that. So you just have to go slow. Number 3, you're going to have to expect setbacks. Everyone gives into temptation. Everyone. You always have that little devil on your shoulder, always trying to get you to go somewhere, or go somewhere you know you shouldn't go, eat something you know you shouldn't eat, say something about somebody that you know you shouldn't say. That's why we have God, because we can talk to God and we can tell him, you know, I really screwed up there. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. And I find that when I'm really having my hardest time, I turn to prayer. I really do. And make no apologies for it. If you don't believe in prayer, then that's just on you. That's not on me. I believe that prayer helps me out in so many situations. But you have to remember that everybody's going to have a setback, and everybody's going to have that little splurge. But that doesn't mean, like, if you go crazy and you have something wrong, that means that you've blown it completely and that you're a complete failure. By no means are you a complete failure. You're human. You made a mistake. Get over it. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. Just move on. Don't be a perfectionist. We all make mistakes. If you think of yourself as a failure or a reason to give up, it'll just lead to a binge. So don't think of yourself as a failure. Just thinking, well, you know, I made a mistake. Making a mistake and being a failure are two completely different things, in my opinion. A failure means that you've just completely given up and you're just not going to even try anymore, and you're going to let that overcome you. I don't want to be a failure in my life. I just don't. What you also want to do is have a buddy system. I find 100% that Weight Watchers and YouTube in combination are helping me to stay on track. Like I said before, I have no doubt that I'm going to hit my goal. I don't know when I'm going to hit my goal, but I've already got it in my mind that I'm going to hit it. So I'm going to have problems along the way. I know that. I know I'm going to have gains. I've had gains for the last 3 weeks. Now, they've been very small gains, but in the past, those would have been huge gains. So I've accomplished that much, that even though I'm having a gain, I'm not letting it overtake my thinking and thinking I'm a failure. I've had a small gain each week. It could be for a variety of reasons. I could be having too much sodium each week. I could just be eating a little bit too much. I could be not moving enough. But it's just something that I have to really think about and not let it overtake me. I know that I've said, and I do believe this, I do need a loss this week. I do psychologically. We all need that little psychological boost every once in a while. Psychologically, I need a loss, no matter what, even if it's a 0.1. I need to see a loss. I need to see a star in my book. And that'll get me right back on track. But with you guys, you're keeping me so inspired, and I can't thank you enough. You really are. Really helping me. Also, we have to be patient. One of the biggest diet motivation busters is the weight loss plateau. I think that I'm somewhat on a weight loss plateau. Not that I've lost a huge amount of weight, because like I've told you, I have lost 60 pounds, but that was over a whole year. That was like now 13 months. So it's not like it all hit at once. But every once in a while, your body needs to readjust and kind of like rethink of what's going on. And you just can't let that get into your mind. Easier said than done. I'm the first to admit it. Easier said than done. But what you need to do is turn around and congratulate yourself on what you've done. If you've only lost 5 pounds, you think, oh, I've only lost 5 pounds. Well, would you say I only gained 5 pounds? No, you would never say I only gained 5 pounds. You'd say I gained 5 pounds. You know, and you got to think of the weight loss in the same respect, because any loss is good. And even if it's a slow loss, the slower you go, the more likely you are to lose it. I've gone on so many crash diets and I've lost so much weight so fast, only to put it back on and then some. because I never learned the right way to eat. I never learned how to make choices. I can still have that slice of cake or ice cream, or I can still go out to eat once in a while. I don't eat out as much as I did before because I've learned I can't do that. But it doesn't stop me from living my life. And that's just what I'm going to do. Sometimes if you're on a plateau, what you have to do is just stay the course. And I just know it's only going to last for so long. Even if it lasts for 6 weeks. Sorry, I spit there. Even if it only lasts for 6 weeks, you haven't gained. You stayed the same. It's discouraging. I know that. I know that all too well. It's very discouraging. But what else you got to do but gain weight? And you don't want to gain weight, so you just wait. Wait till your body wants to, you know, come around and say, okay, we're going to let you lose some more weight this week. Reward yourself, but not with food. Don't think, oh, I got on. This is my biggest problem. My biggest problem is, like, I get on the scale on Saturdays, and if I've had a loss on Sundays, I think, well, you know what, I had a loss, I'm going to give myself a reward. I'm going to go have a hot fudge sundae, or I'm going to go to Burger King, or I'm going to do this or that. You don't want to reward yourself with food. So now what I've done is, because I've told you in the past, I have 17 watches that need batteries, and some of them need new watch bands. So when I did have my loss earlier in the year, I got 2 new watches. Not new watches, but new watch bands and new batteries. So I still have, and I've got 2 in the shop right now, but I'm not picking them up. And I told the guy, you know, I said, I'll pay for them, but I'm not picking them up yet because, and I explained to him, he's a really nice guy. It's a local jeweler by my Kroger's. And I explained to him, I says, I'll pay for it, but I'm not picking it up until I've had a loss because that's my goal. And he says, no, just when you have your loss, come in and you can pay for it. And I said, well, when I have my loss, I'll come in and pay for it. And I'm going to drop off a couple more watches. And so that's how I'm rewarding myself. Small little rewards, I understand, but that's what I'm doing. And then what you want to do is, and it seems silly when you haven't reached your goal yet, but you want to have a maintenance plan. You want to know what you're going to do once you get there. If you don't learn along the way, you're not going to have a maintenance plan. You're just not. You have to know where you're going to be at and what you're going to do. Once again, it's going to be another robocall. I know that. And it was. What was I going to say? Oh, you know what we have to stop doing is thinking about food. That's what got us in the problem in the first place. Before you focused on food because you wanted to focus on, oh, this is going to be good, I can't wait to have it, I can't wait to have it. Now we focus on food saying, oh, I can't have that, I can't have this, I can't do that. We have to stop focusing so much on food. We have to start thinking about food as just being a source of fuel. And sometimes it's going to bring you enjoyment. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm becoming so consumed with the thought of food, and it makes the journey that much harder. So as soon as you stop being so consumed by the thought of food, I think you'll do better. So, all right, I'll see you at breakfast. Well, let's eat breakfast. I started my day with a prayer. I've drank 50 ounces of water so far. I've walked 4,731 steps. My quote is, "The difficulty lies not so much in developing new habits as it is in leaving the old habits in the past." 25 smart points I have for the day. 0 for my egg, banana, grapefruit tea, and water. 4 for my half a cup of oatmeal. And 1 point for my quarter cup of 2% milk. It's 5 points, so I still have 20 points left for the day. Stay tuned for part 2. Boy, am I rushing the month. Today's the 2nd, not the 5th. It's the 2nd. Oh well. Maybe something happened. Maybe something great's going to happen on the 5th. Who knows?